Welcome to the Prophecy Club. Our topic today is AI, as in artificial intelligence, as in a computer, an off-world computer, that's given to us by benevolent beings from another planet, or more specifically given to us by Lucifer and all of his high technology. AI, artificial intelligence, will become the image of the beast. Now, one advantage in listening to someone that is a prophecy student, because we can bring a point of view that most people will never see. They will never understand it. And this is one of them. Most people will only see the AI. They will only see the natural things. The only information they get is what they get from the internet or from Fox News or something like that. Well, in this case, listening to someone that has been teaching Bible prophecy 40 years, and in my case, memorized the book of Revelation, can bring a world of better understanding. So, let's dig into AI, artificial intelligence, and how it will be the image of the beast. One more quick thing. It is summer. Every summer, we need extra help. So if God has blessed you and you can help Prophecy Club, we would really, really appreciate it. All right, so before we get into it, so I did not know of this. Sunday, as I was bringing my message, I read what Pastor Massey had said about there's not going to be any gas. And when I got done with that, Leslie walked up on stage and she said, as you were saying that, it reminded me of one that I had. And I said, no, I don't recall ever hearing that. And sure enough, somehow or another, she never got it to me. So this is a new one, even though it was given to her back in May of 2022. You see, a real prophet hears and delivers. They don't check back. They don't check back to see if you listened. They don't check back to see if you're following it. If you believed it, they don't check back. They hear and they delivered. Leslie heard and she delivered, and for whatever reason, it slipped through everything. So here it is. May 2022, this dream starts with Stan and I being warned to go and fill our car with gasoline. I might add, I just complimented Leslie the other day. She always seems to keep her gas tank full, and of late, I've been doing better myself. I would recommend that you always try to do that. I would also recommend you have some extra 5-gallon gasoline tanks stored in a very safe way. Immediately, we went into the nearest gas station, which was a convenience store. The convenience store was full of people. Right after Stan filled our tank of the gas, other cars started arriving to get gas and food. We left, but watched from a distance. The store manager was yelling at people, "There's no more gas." People were running out, carrying as much food as possible. They emptied the store of everything. Sitting in our car nearby, we watched as people began to fist fight, push and shove, and many began to pull out guns. Several news helicopters were filming the scene. Then military helicopters arrived. Troops began rappelling to the ground to get the chaos under control. That evening, we watched the chaos from a distance. Okay, so the word is, make certain that you have gas. So this is now 2 prophecies, one from Leslie, one from Pastor Massey. Both of them I consider to be the top of the top in credibility. They say there's a time coming when there's not going to be gasoline. You see, the more pain they can bring the people, then that is the chaos that can bring the new world order. All right, let's move on. Now we're going to talk about AI. AI, or artificial intelligence, the article says, spy program launched to monitor global bank transactions. It's not going to be just monitoring bank transactions. This new computer from the devil is going to monitor everything. Only part of it is bank transaction. Probably the most important part. Transaction for money laundering, but people know it's just an excuse to surveil their private accounts. And it's, by the way, it's not just to surveil the private accounts, but to control them, so that no man might buy or sell save he had the mark in the name of the beast or the number of his name. They want to control. You remember, Henry Kissinger is reported as saying, he who controls food controls the people. He who controls energy, that would be gasoline, energy controls whole continents. But he who controls money can control the world. That gives you an idea where they're going. A global cashless society is at the door as the world's globalist bankers forge ahead with plans to centralize all of the world's international and central banks under one single umbrella network. Now, we prophecy students, we've been watching for this for 40 years. The International Monetary Fund is readying to introduce its new global central bank digital currency, or the CBDC, which we are told will be called the UMU, or Unicoin. The Bank for International Settlements is also doing its part with multiple projects aimed at synchronizing, I hope you're listening, synchronizing the world's money systems into one single system. I was thinking as I drove this afternoon, why can't I say that the tribulation, the 7-year tribulation, has for sure started? It's because I want to be right on this one. I do not want to miss, so that when I can say that the 7-year tribulation has definitely started, the first seal has definitely opened, that we know absolutely positively that it has. But I will have to give it to the people that are saying it. That is, a lot of the things that we would expect to see when the tribulation starts, and this is one of them, are now coming into place. I had a friend of mine send me this by text. It says, due to emergency conditions and to accommodate all customers, today's daily cash withdrawal is limited to $1,000. Oh, that's not some small bank. That's Wells Fargo. Why are they doing that? Because they're getting ready to introduce a new CBDC, a new currency, digital currency system. Now, I want you to look at this. This is a bunch of dead fish on the seashore, as you're looking at right now. I don't think that's an accident. I don't think it's the first one. I think what's causing it is scalar wave. Can destroy anything in the air, on the land, on the sea, under the sea, any place on the globe, anytime they want to. Now, Stan, what does that have to do with AI? Because AI is going to control this and everything else with the whole objective of putting the Antichrist on the throne. State TV, Russia, says the United States is now in Moscow's nuclear crosshairs. This is one of their very popular TV hosts. Watch what he says.
И, конечно, вопрос, это все перейдет в ядерную фазу или нет? Потому что если так все дальше идет, то перейдет обязательно. И не тактическим шарахать мы будем на Украине. Ну уж поверьте. Ну, сердце у спрута по Стругацким — это Соединенные Штаты Америки. И все цели, которые, должны быть под прицелом, они же с советских времен есть. И те, которые в Америке, и те, которые в Европе, и те, которые в других местах, где сосредоточено американское ядерное оружие, где стоят американские военные базы. Вот хотелось бы, чтобы на подлете к этой ядерной фазе мы все-таки добили врага, не перейдя этот Рубикон. Но если придется, что теперь поделать?
He says a Russian state TV host has warned that if the Ukraine war escalates to a nuclear phase, the Kremlin will strike the U.S. with nuclear weapons as it is in the crosshairs. Dmitry Medvedev, deputy chairman of the Russian Federation Council, said the likelihood of nuclear weapons will be used was growing by the day. In my opinion, concerns about climate change is nothing compared to the prospect of being at this epicenter of an explosion with a temperature of 5,000 Kelvin, a shock wave of 350 meters per second, pressure of 3,000 kilograms per square meter, with penetrating rate. In other words, you're talking about a nuclear bomb. Is there such a prospect today? They say yes, and it is growing every day for well-known reasons. Now, you may be saying, wait a minute, I thought we were talking about AI. Well, that's the point. You see, artificial intelligence is going to be a computer system that is going to control everything. Well, how do you know that? Okay, well, remember Lindsey Williams said that the elite consider themselves to be gentlemen. And they feel like it is not fair play if they don't tell us what they're doing. And one of the ways they tell us is through news, all through music and movies. Okay, so in this case, what they're doing is telling us that one day a computer will also control nuclear weapons. And they shall give their power unto the beast until the words of God shall be fulfilled, Revelation says. Let's go on. The WHO and a global vaccine passport has gone live in Europe. So what? Well, so what? This is one of the ways that they can begin to get everybody into the system. It goes on to say, this is the first building block of the WHO Global Digital Health Certification Network. The article says, in June 2023, WHO will take up the European Union system of, and I put in here anti-V because I don't want to say those words, certification to establish a global system that will help facilitate global mobility. Wait a minute, I thought we had global mobility now. Well, we do. Okay, so why do we need a passport, a digital passport, to help us move around? Well, obviously they're inferring to the point to where one day you won't be able to not just buy or sell without the mark, you won't be able to move without this digital identification that proves that you are in the system. Now, right now we're talking about our health, but we know it's going to the currency. It goes on to say, and they protect citizens across the world from ongoing and future health threats, including pandemics. In other words, you have to prove to us that you are in the system with the, I don't know how to tell you, but I can't say, okay? You got to prove you had that, or you're a threat to civilization. And that means you can't move. You can't fly, you can't get on a bus, you can't drive your car, you can't cross certain lines. Maybe you can't leave more than 15 miles from your home. In China, that's the way you already operate. This is the first building block of the WHO Global Digital Health Certification Network. Stan, thought we were talking about artificial intelligence. Yes, we are. What I'm trying to say is artificial intelligence, a global computer system, is going to control this too. You won't be able to buy or sell unless you have the mark of the name of the beast or the number of his name. And that includes controlling missiles, controlling nations, it'll control every movement of every CBDC or whatever the current digital currency. It'll control everything. WHO aims to offer all WHO member states access to an open source digital health tool, which is based on the principles of equity, innovation, transparency, and data protection and privacy. They have to have these certificates in order to facilitate free movement within its borders. Okay, so what they're basically saying is you won't be able to buy or sell, you won't be able to do anything unless you are in the system defined as eye, voice, fingerprint, DNA print, and you got to bend the knee and worship the beast to get in the system. If you're not in the system, you do not buy or sell. I hope you're listening. Let me go to show you in the scriptures. Revelation 13:13. And he, now this is talking about the false prophet, he doeth great wonders, so that he make a fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. So he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the first beast. So they use great miracles, great high technology to deceive. Let's go on. Then he, this is the false prophet, had power to give life unto the image of the beast. Now, what's the image of the beast? I've been talking about this for a long time. I believe it will be something like a clone that is tied into artificial intelligence. It will be something that looks human or fairly close to human, but it will have access to artificial intelligence. It will know anything, everything, all the way around the globe, all at the same time. It will know the conversation of every person. I believe that you'd be able to step up to it and say, what's my name? And it would say, you want me to tell you just your name? Or would you like to tell me or would you like me to tell you what you were doing at 3 years old? Be able to tell your grade average. They would know everything. That's hard for us to understand. It would know everything, and look what it does. So the image of the beast, this clone slash computer, and this is what Jason Meeks saw in a vision where they were melding human flesh with robots. That's the way to say it. The image of the beast should both speak and cause. As many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So you got to accept this clone. A new AI religion and a new AI Bible. Most important news says, will millions of people soon be looking to artificial intelligence for spiritual guidance? Such a notion may sound crazy to you, but we should not underestimate how rapidly AI is changing our world. I hope you're listening. On Friday, over 300 people attended a church service that was led by a ChatGPT chatbot. The artificial intelligence chatbot asked the believers in the fully packed St. Paul's Church in the Bavarian town of Fürth to rise from the pews and praise the Lord. Oh, I know what you're thinking. Well, he was just reading the Bible. No, he wasn't reading the Bible. He was spouting out words from the AI. In other words, what we're talking about, when it's saying praise the Lord, it was saying praise the computer, or we know to be praise the image of the beast. It didn't say that, but that's what it said. Watch. So the ChatGPT chatbot, personified by an avatar of a bearded black man on a huge screen above the altar, then began preaching to the more than 300 people who had shown up on Friday morning for an experimental Lutheran church service, almost entirely generated by AI. During the 40-minute service, 4 different avatars appeared on the screen. 2 of them were young women and 2 of them were young men. The 29-year-old that produced this idea said that about 98% of the content for the service comes from the AI computer. Did you get that? So it wasn't preaching Jesus. It wasn't preaching things from the Bible. It wasn't preaching things from God. It was preaching things from a computer. I'm telling you, it's really already here. It's just not totally implemented yet. It's kind of like the person that dives off of a high diving board. They're in the air. They haven't hit the water yet, but they're in the air. It's heading there. And that's where we are with AI. Watch. I concede this service, but actually I rather accompanied it because I would say about 98% comes from the machine. In this case, ChatGPT was asked to contribute to a Christian worship service, and that's very creepy. But of course, it is probably just a matter of time before entirely new religions are created by artificial intelligence. I'll read that again. Before entirely new religions are created by artificial intelligence. The world is on the verge of a new religion created by artificial intelligence. The historian Yuval Noah Harari has claimed this is a Jew that worked for World Economic Forum, and he's probably one of the most corrupt people on the planet. Very anti-Christ. Not the Antichrist, but very anti-Christ. The academic, known for his best-selling book, Sapiens, said software such as ChatGPT could attract worshipers by writing, are you looking at this? Its own sacred text. Are you getting that? A computer is able to write its own sacred text. Sacred is supposed to be holy. It's a word referencing it came from God. So what this guy is saying is what is coming out of a computer is going to be accepted as words from God. Did you hear me? Are you getting this? We might not be in the tribulation, but if we're not, we're certainly close. And maybe some of the people that say we are, maybe they're right. He said AI had crossed a new frontier by gaining mastery of our language and was now capable of using it to shape human culture. You and I may think that this is a load of nonsense, but the truth is that there are millions of people out there that already believe some very strange things. For example, this week I read about something called the Church of, I'm going to try to pronounce it, Pasillimotho-Oxen, that already has several hundred followers. A motley assemblage of Army veterans, yogis, and psychonauts are mingling in April in a garden of luxury property just outside Austin, Texas. On the hottest day of the year yet in the state, some 350 people are here to dance ambient music and celebrate a unique new religious congregation. Did you hear that? A new religious congregation that worships with a psychedelic sacrament. Okay. What they're saying is they're doing some kind of like peyote or belladonna or something to worship God. Oh, well, now a lot of people like that, wouldn't they? It's just that that's not God. Worships a psychedelic sacrament. One day they claim to have created themselves by crossbreeding magic mushrooms with hallucinogenic toad venom. What? I'll read it again. One day they claim to have created themselves by crossbreeding magic mushrooms, probably belladonna or peyote or something like that, with hallucinogenic toad venom. Something that comes from some kind of toad. Welcome to the Church of Pasillimotho-Oxen. I probably butchered that. It deserves to be butchered. So, if a superhuman intelligence were to create an extremely appealing new religion that reflects the cultural values that are currently dominant in our society, I could see a lot of people being attracted to it. Yeah, sad, but he's probably right. Harari then dropped a bomb. AI can create new ideas. It can even write a new Bible. What? I'll read it again. AI can create new ideas. It can even write a new Bible. Now that makes sense, doesn't it? So AI from the devil, high technology, a very, very fast computer. Remember, the quantum computer, if you compare it to your garden hose representing the fastest computer humans have ever made, compare that to the water going over Niagara Falls. That's how much faster a quantum computer, which is what AI is going to be on. So we're talking about a computer that is far, 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 far beyond anything mankind has created. And it comes up with a new religion, a new Bible, and everybody's got to accept this new Bible, this new religion. And oh, by the way, this guy over here, he's really God. And if you want to buy or sell, you got to bend the knee, worship him. And you have to take a mark right between the eyes or right here on the back of the hand. If you don't, you won't be able to buy or sell, and then eventually they're going to lop your head off. Are you seeing where this is going? AI can create new ideas. It can even write a new Bible. He added that throughout history, religions dreamt about having a book written by a superhuman intelligence. It's called the King James Bible. A superhuman intelligence by a non-human entity, and that in a few years, there might be religions that are actually correct. What a lost soul. Just think about a religion whose holy book is written by an AI. Well, a lot of people that don't like Christianity, they'll accept that. As a matter of fact, I pulled up behind a car this afternoon, and it said, it was black with red writing, about this big, and it said, "I'm going to hell by every religion." In other words, every religion says the person that put this on the back of the car is going to hell. So maybe a person that wouldn't accept any of the religions out there, maybe they would accept the AI religion. See what I'm talking about? If millions of people around the globe started looking to a superhuman intelligence to shape their core beliefs, the potential for abuse would be off the charts. Whoever is in control of that superhuman intelligence would potentially have an army of adherents ready and willing to do whatever they were commanded, like everybody that does not have the mark of the beast. You are not just okay to kill them, you are commanded to kill them. And then they hunt them down just like prophecy says they'll do. So let's go to Daniel 7:24. And the 10 kingdoms, or the 10 horns, out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another one, that would be the Antichrist, the 11th one. Another shall arise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings. So as the Antichrist comes to power, he will begin, and this is one of the things I'm watching for. You see one of the leaders of the global network that they set up, the 10 global networks, see one of them start overcoming 3 of the other, and you can say, okay, that's the Antichrist. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and he shall wear out the saints of the Most High and think to change times and laws. Do you suppose having the new quantum computer write a brand new Bible might be thinking to change times and laws? Yep. Do you think that a quantum computer then says, okay, this is the new Bible, this is the new belief, you got to scrap all of the other religions, everybody got to worship this guy right over here, the Antichrist? Is that thinking to change times and laws? Yep, it is. So it is in the process of arriving. Again, like the guy that's just dived off the high diving board, he's heading to the water. He's going to hit the water. Just hadn't hit it yet. That's where we are with this. He's left the diving board. It's heading to the water. Just hadn't hit yet. Then you go to Revelation 13:5. So this false prophet guy, this is the Antichrist, is given a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies. How about like a new Bible? He opened his mouth and blasphemed against God, to blaspheme his name, his tabernacle, and them that dwell in heaven. Maybe that's because he writes an AI Bible. And it was given him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. Why? Because the saints are going to be the only ones that will resist. All the rest of the people that don't want Jesus, they'll say, okay, anything but Jesus. And power is given him over all kindreds, tongues, and nations. Why? Because they wouldn't accept Jesus. So he turned them over to a reprobate mind. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the Lamb's book of life, slain from the foundation of the world. On May 30th, a research organization called the Center for AI Safety released a 22-word statement signed by several prominent AI scientists. So these are the experts of the experts of the experts of the experts when it comes to artificial intelligence. Look who it is. I'm not going to mention the names, but I'm going to say this is the CEO of OpenAI, the CEO of Google DeepMind, and the godfather of AI. And what do they say about it? They say mitigating the risk of extinction from AI should be a global priority alongside other societal scale risks such as pandemics and a nuclear war. They're saying the artificial intelligence is as dangerous as a nuclear war. These are the people that own a lot of the computers that are doing this. The people that own Google, own some of these AIs. They're saying the things that they own and they control are very, very dangerous. We need to basically stop it, back up, and think about this. This statement made headlines around the world, with many media reports suggesting the reports now believe that AI, hope you're listening, AI could lead to human extinction. I didn't say that. And this is even reported by CNN. So, what do? First, we got to ask Jesus to forgive our sins, to come into our heart, to be our God. Ask him what we need to do to get prepared. You know, we've talked about a lot of things on here to get prepared. Let me refresh your memory. Here's a few of them. My brothers and sisters, get prepared. We may very well be in the tribulation. We may very well begin to see things that we've never seen before. I am having another Level 2. Level 2 School of the Watchmen's Conference, and I'm calling this a teacher's course. It's going to be September 15 and 16. You can go to prophecyclub.com, and it'll tell you all of the details about it. And it gives you all of the requirements. I'll let you read that online. However, the big question is, you're going to be saying, well, What's the difference between level 1 and level 2? Well, lots. Level 1 was primarily reading through most of the book of Revelation and teaching it. That's not be level 2. Yes, we will do some reading, but this one is designed to make you a teacher of Bible prophecy, which, by the way, our office wants to know if you went through level 1 and if you have taught or have been invited to teach from the book of Revelation and you went through level 1, send me an email. I'd like to know that. I know there's been at least one. I think there's 2, maybe more. Anyway, I'd like to know. So level 2 is to teach you to the point to where you can be qualified to actually teach the book of Revelation. Now, I can tell you right up front, we're going to have a level 3, God willing. And in that one, I'm going to require people to memorize the book of Revelation to come to level 3. And so there's going to be 1 year's difference between level 2 and level 3. It took me a year to memorize it, so I figure it'll take you a year to memorize it. Some of you may even faster. So go to prophecyclub.com and it'll give you all the details, tells you all about some of the difficult questions and things like that we're going to cover in level 2. Level 2 is going to get you real close to being a qualified teacher of Revelation. But by the time you get through level 3, having memorized the book, pastor's going to listen to you. And that's where we're going with this. Terry Saka, CornerstoneAssetMetals.com. The world seems to be falling apart financially. Why should they call CornerstoneAssetMetals.com today?
Well, the FDIC insurance fund is now empty. Not only is it empty, it's at zero. So now all bank bailouts are going to have to come from taxpayers. This could result in trillions of new currency notes being printed. The more they print, the more inflation we're going to have, potentially hyperinflation, and we need to protect ourselves away from that dollar.
CornerstoneAssetMetals.com. Go online or give them a call at 888-747-3309. CornerstoneAssetMetals.com. You don't have to get anything today. Just give them a call and say, hey, here's my situation. What do you suggest? It took me about 20 minutes to make these 2 loaves in my kitchen at an ingredient cost of about $12 each. In a time of food shortage and emergency, I'm going to cut each one of these loaves into 14 slices. Eat a slice in the morning and the afternoon, I'll be satisfied. You want long-term food storage? You want to cut your food costs? Here it is. Eat 2 whole wheat bread slices daily for about a year for about $800 each. JosephKitchen.com's wheat berries come in a nitrogen-infused 7-gallon pail for long-term storage. Most other emergency food costs about $10,000 per person per year. That's right, about $10,000 per person per year. But at Joseph Kitchen, you could do it for about $1,000 per person per year. Now, to get started at josephkitchen.com, you're going to need a machines package. That's going to give you the grinder, the bread machine, the knife slicer, all you need to make bread, and then you decide how much food you want to get. You want food 6 people 1 year, 4 people 1 year, 2 people 1 year, or just 1 person for a year, all at josephkitchen.com. About $1,000 per person per year at josephskitchen.com. Use the promo code Prophecy Club. Get you a $50 discount. josephskitchen.com, promo code Prophecy Club for a $50 discount on your first order. Next is, I'll send you to empshield.com. If you use the promo word prophecy, you get a $50 discount. What is that? Well, it looks like this. This is the one that goes into a car, okay? And you put the red wire to the red side of the battery, you put the black wire to the black side of the battery, and the green one attaches to the body of the car. Then you peel it off right back here. Just peel that off, stick it inside of the engine compartment of your car. And the whole point is when the electricity goes off or when some kind of a suitcase nuclear device goes off, this is supposed to be able to stop that device from destroying every computer chip in your car. Because if every computer chip is destroyed in your car these days, you couldn't possibly replace them all. Throw the car away. So, empshield.com, promo code prophecy.